the #1 long-form writer that helps SEOs outrank competition at the click of a button using real-time research and NLP. Start ranking content today with content@scale.ai.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
Hello, everybody. Today I want to start with two big news. One good and one bad. Which one do you want to hear first? The good or the bad? Bad. The bad? Really? Oh my God, I see you. You're already drinking your coffee, I see. Very well. So, the bad one for the tech world, those tech bros out there in Twitter who love to make huge threads about this for debate. No, SEO is not going to die due to LLMs or AI or chatbots out there, okay? Sorry. The good news for SEOs is no, SEO is not going to die because of LLMs. Also, the sad news is that unlike some people out there think or say, I'm not a bot, right? I wish I could start today saying, ha, 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 you know, it's like, I'm not really a person, I'm a human. It's like, take my head out of my body or something like that. It's not, no, I'm not yet. But anyway, yes, it's game-changing, it's changing stuff, but it's not going to kill it. In fact, in the past, I have shared quite a few resources. Among others, I have already reviewed the potential impact that the SGE, also known as feature snippets in asteroids, snapshots in Google, and you can take a look if you want, but this is beyond the point a little bit of today's presentation. I want to show you today how we, without even realizing, have been already changing a lot the way that we do our work in our day-to-day as SEOs, right? This is how we are now. I asked already a couple of months ago already about this. And realistically, we have already incorporating very naturally different AI functionalities, tasks in our day-to-days, right? I have to say that all of this has been shockingly accelerated by Google saying that they are okay with AI content too. So of course, everybody went and started to generate AI content. Like now, like everybody and their mother and every tool has some sort of AI or chatbot, whatever functionalities. In some cases better or more useful than others, I have to say. But yes, there are so many different resources that are very, very worthy and useful in our day-to-day to accelerate stuff. So for example, I love to use Phrase, the content tool, and all of these ideas and options and functionalities for analyzing, generating, outlining, content briefing, whatever they provide. This is amazing. However, unfortunately, we have also seen how this has sadly already caused a few issues because, of course, surprise, surprise, we have taken, well, we haven't actually, like, we're all good, right? We don't do this stuff, but some have taken the approach of leaving AI in autopilot. And just a few weeks ago, I heard about this, and actually I didn't hear about this from the SEO community, but from Spanish-speaking community in Twitter complaining about how Gizmodo had laid off all of their Spanish-speaking writers and team, and they have replaced them with automated translations, and it was so bad, but so bad, so cringy that honestly, I mean, I know that you need to potentially cost, that there's some crisis going on, whatever, but you can have the very least left a couple of people to revise things, so it was not so bad. I'm sure that it's not even necessarily like the good AI, like DeepL is amazing, by the way. Maybe, I don't know, Google Translate or whatever. Anyway, bad. We have resources, we have ways, we have workflows, we have frameworks to solve this already. There's this workflow that I love, in fact, because it's so very simple to follow, to understand, and to ensure that whatever we do is safely generated, that we can accelerate the process, but it's not bad output at the end of the day, right? Brittany Mueller did this amazing list that pretty much outlines like every single scenario or major scenario in which AI is a good idea and others that LLMs are not good for. And I have to say that it's possible to leverage AI for so much more than just content. It seems that most of the automation and resources are completely focused on that. I am going to be sharing a lot today about that too. And no worries, because I will be also sharing my deck with a lot of the links to these resources, and I will be publishing them over LinkedIn and Twitter. And I'm not saying this just for you to follow me on Twitter, but you can follow me on Twitter if you want, by the way. Let's see if I can get to, I'm like in 148K followers. Let's see if I can get to the 150Ks before it explodes and goes to hell, thanks to Elon. But yes, a challenge that I have. Let's see. Anyway, I believe that SEO processes that do not take advantage of AI, on the other hand, will end up being, struggling, let's say. Not taking advantage of these opportunities will end up being left behind, right? So a balanced approach is needed. Yes, I know we don't like balanced approaches many times. That's tricky. People tend to go for the black and white, but we need to be blended in this case, right? So let's go through different stages, processes, validations, resources to help us with this, right? With additional angles than the ones that I have already shared in the past in this guide. You can take a look also at this guide that I created right after ChatGPT was launched. We have so many plugins now. We have so many other resources too. In fact, one thing that I love that ChatGPT Plus released, it was like a month ago or so, was this option in which we can configure it so whatever we input and we request is taken from a certain angle. So these custom instructions that we can set there, in my case, it says pretty much like whatever I ask you to do, this will be from an SEO standpoint. You will give me the answers as if you were an SEO expert, and please don't make up stuff. I don't want your hallucinations, right? So pretty handy to avoid saying this again and again, right? We also can use other chatbots and tools like the Bing chatbot, ChatSonic. There's a wealth of bots right now. Not Bard, so bad, sorry. Google, please, let's talk later. I have tons of bad examples there. So let's go for it. The first thing, very easy to do, is to make better prompts, describe, generate better prompts. And for that, I have found the 5 Ws and the H to ensure concise prompts, to maximize better results in the first iteration, right? Like this, pretty much asking for the same stuff, but because we give much more context easily with the 5 Ws and the H, the output will be so much better. I created a resource for this, in fact. Like super easy to use, free to use doing Google Sheets. Again, follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, so I will be sharing the deck there and all the resources. And you can see how you can easily create your own library of prompts like this and share it with your team so we can all access all for free without paying $9.99 for whatever Notion template tech products out there will say you or whatever. But yes, so this is very handy to have to ensure that the quality and the context that you provide is good enough to get good results, much more straightforward, right? And with this, it's time to unleash your SEO imagination. So we can use tools, plugins that will allow us to do stuff now that just a few months ago we were saying not do this because the accuracy of the information you will get is not good. So now we have plugins like the one of the SERPstat SEO tool. So we can even request for queries ideas along their search volumes directly there. Yes. Yes. And it will be accurate because it's actually an SEO tool. We can also get the most popular questions of any trending topic along with URLs that are already answering them with plugins like keymate.ai. And if we go and click, we will see that this URL actually exists. It's not a made-up stuff. You can also generate ideas for an article on a topic on your website, such as remote work related to Vision Pro's top questions to capitalize on its opportunity. And if you can take a look at it, it's not actually something crazy that sucks. It actually makes sense. Fun angle, different angle, right, that we can actually leverage for a website like that. And we can use plugins like the one of the Browser Pilot one to see like, which are the right topics to run for if you actually have a website about that topic and you want to make the most and identify opportunities of the already top ranked pages for those queries. It will give you ideas. And you can also ask to give you ideas, but that these are not completely a duplication of the ones that are already ranking. You can also generate an outline or alternatives or outlines for the chosen topic. So you can have variety, and you can see that it's good. It doesn't suck. And then you can actually obtain a content brief to develop an optimized article for the selected angle. And as you can see, it's pretty comprehensive too, with good ideas about the very specific topic that I have asked. And of course, the idea here is that you can complement this with your already existing SEO tools. So whatever workflow you have already in your SEO day-to-day to identify keyword opportunities, I love tools like, for example, also ask to draft PAAs in bulk. So you can bring all of these questions and say, OK, create me a hub and spoke models out of this, eliminating duplications, organizing it in a way that is semantically related, and do the same for the main terms with search volume and intent that I already have from my keyword tool. And please suggest intent, suggest me titles, suggest meta description, suggest me FAQs from the top questions that you see people asking already in search, or from the content already covered and ranking in the best position in search results already. And you can also generate visualizations, which show me, and I am a very visual person, and I love to visualize the organization of topic and the relationship between them. And I love this particular plugin because it allows me to actually go to the tool later and tweak it, edit it, share it with my clients too. And with the new option of the data analysis, we can actually do some very, very cool stuff to identify trends, to do forecasts, to analyze data in bulk from the Google Search Console, ranking data, search data, for example. I have created forecasts from the potential clicks, based on different scenarios of rankings, taking into consideration historical data of traffic and click-through rates and rankings from the last few months, for example, from the Google Search Console. And not only for keyword research or content ideas, but also competition and search intent analysis too. We can use WebPilot again to get consistently mentioned product services topics in competitors in bulk, using this plugin, for example, like this. OK, I want to do a research. I want to create good content. Like, allow me, give me input here, so I don't need to start from scratch. Or ask for the top mentioned product services topics from the best ranked pages for your targeted query already. You can get also suggestions for new related topics based on what has been covered on top ranked sites, but without repeating them again. And again, you can go and double check. Random validation is always good to verify that you are not duplicating some stuff there, but getting input and ideas based on that only. You can also use plugins like the browser pilot here to validate if it's possible to rank with the same page for two similar searches, if the intent is similar or not, if these are synonyms or not, if you need to create different type of content. And also you can check if it is feasible to position in different international markets with the same page. Hey, what is the overlay here for this query in the UK and the US? Same language, but potentially different type of results because they need to be localized depending on the intent of each audience. And you can see if the overlay is big or not. If it is big, maybe you can get away by just creating a single content without having the risk of cannibalizing yourself by creating different pieces for each market too. You can also do other stuff for strategic content creation, right? Like lots of different angles here. You can get content ideas based on trending topics and videos. There is this plugin, the video highlight one. So if you want to, if you have a lot of informational content going on here and ideas, you potentially want to see if there's opportunity to create video content. So you can use this plugin and say, hey, suggest me 5 video contents ideas about the Apple Vision Pro based on what you are seeing that is already trending in YouTube. It will tell you. You can actually obtain title descriptions and hashtag suggestions based on the ones that are already ranking well in YouTube for these topics. You can get title suggestions without copying top ranked pages too. You can get different options for unique product descriptions based on the top ranked pages for the product search too. You can generate FAQs of your products based on those features in the top ranked pages, again, without duplicating them using the keymate.ai plugin. You can check if the generated FAQs comply with the Google helpful content best practices and get suggestions for it. What is cool, like, okay, you created this content, I have reviewed it, I think it is good enough, but I will give you a link to the Google guidelines for helpful content and tell me if all what I have written here actually complies with it or not. Is it okay? Is it good enough? If not, give me suggestions on how to improve it. So helpful. You can also get the pros and cons of your best product versus similar ones based on the top ranked pages, but without copying it again. You need to add this like, do not copy this, like give me alternative, give me suggestions without necessarily copying it completely. And if you're too scared to incorporate stuff that doesn't actually exist, that is made up, there are plugins again that allow you to gather facts, to obtain information from facts, from data sources that are actually validated. So for example, the Scholar AI plugin here is super useful to get citations, get references for your money of your life type of content, for example. I will be always looking and asking for information about fitness or about health issues, et cetera, et cetera. You can now also cross-refer and cross-check the facts and originality of the content and ask it to make it unique and factual again. It's just about asking, ask, validate. Don't assume that it's correct, and that is the problem, the autopilot type of thinking here. And you may think, okay, Aleyda, this is great, but how do we integrate this in our existing SEO data and workflow type of platform that we already have going on our day-to-day? So the good news is that a lot of SEO tools are now featuring many of these functionalities within their own interfaces in a way that is actually helpful. So for example, I am a fan of SEO testing, and they have incorporated here this option of whenever they spot that I have a page with an underperforming title, meta description, or heading, they will generate me already ideas to improve it directly with an integration with OpenAI like this, for example. And if I don't like the idea, they allow me to recreate the prompt. So useful, one of my favorite tools. Also, the Horseman SEO crawler, one of my favorite and more flexible crawlers out there. If you don't know it yet, go and take a look at it. Super cheap too, has GPT content recommendations and insight integration based on the issues that they identify. Oh, title duplication issues, meta description duplication problems, no titles, no metadata. Okay, these are examples or inputs or ideas for you to integrate them, like just like this. I mean, very straightforward, already ingrained and easy to access from their own interface, right? And one of the things that I actually love, and one of the most creative ways that I have seen tools leveraging AIs within their interfaces and functionalities is this one. Actually, you can configure their scrapper to get whatever element in the raw render DOM when they crawl any website by specifying the rules in text, human readable text, and they will generate the code from the text. Amazing. I mean, you don't need to regex anything. They're very straightforward. And then, of course, you can also use Sheets add-ons leveraging OpenAI API to integrate with your existing information. I love the numerals.ai integration here with Google Sheets. I'm a fan of Google Sheets, as many of you know. So you can identify the search intent or the sentiment analysis of a list of keywords that you have here already in bulk. And pretty much they will show you a little extension here, an interface that you can use to say, okay, as you can see here, like the specification, the input here is completely easy to follow. It's nothing complex, right? It's like for all of the terms in the first column, generate this or that. In both, like you can detect the parent subject or main category of existing keywords to classify them, for example. You can also generate titles and description, H1s, FAQs, whatever you want in bulk like this, of the content that you're linking or copy-pasting in the first column here. So it's so easy to generate at scale if you want or need something like that. Also, whenever you are doing content optimization process, or re-optimization with titles, with the description, et cetera, that is too long, whatever, you can also ask in bulk, okay, like, please generate this again, but with less characters. So it complies with the rules, right? And not just for content. You can do this for auditing, technical auditing. So there's also an extension of the website performance tool here that we all love. So you can pretty much copy-paste URLs in bulk here to get not only the core vitals assessment, but also suggestions on how it can be improved directly. So good. You can get the code, for example, to generate XML sitemaps for any new indexable URL that is published in certain areas of your website to accelerate the process in case you don't have at this point development support. You can generate a hierarchical navigation structure for a list of websites URLs, again, using the data analysis, the advanced data analysis functionality like this. And it's so straightforward, so good. That doesn't mean, again, that you don't need to validate it. You do, but it can so easily facilitate your work. You can get step-by-step instructions for canonicalization. Again, FAQ page generation, just in case you want to continue doing the right thing, even if it doesn't generate a rich result anymore. Sad moment, sad time, but yes, it is what it is. And for link building, again, get a list of experts who have published on the desired topic with their contact information. Get a list of relevant podcasts or YouTube channels to request an invitation on their channels and promote a little bit your stuff. Obtain details of bloggers or journalists you will contact for reference whenever you do the pitch. You can even generate the outreach content in a way that is highly, highly personalized and good. So as you can see, tons of opportunity, different areas of our SEO processes that can be elevated with this. Just be careful. That doesn't mean that it will replace us. At the end of the day, I don't think that any bot will do a much better work than we can, like incentivizing developers to do what they need to do and execute what they need to do, which is what actually is much more meaningful, execution challenges in SEO at the end of the day, right? So yes, as you can see, we can leverage AI, minimizing risk, maximizing opportunities. Is all about being a little bit creative. I hope that this has given you many ideas. Thank you very much.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.